Now, this evening, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special award, which is the ACSWA 1962 prize. And to present this award, can I call upon Mr. David Clark, who's the ACSWA branch chair, to provide details and tell us who the winner of the award is. Please welcome Mr. David Clark.
Ladies and gentlemen, hitherto, and I think there are a few people after me, I thought I was coming last actually, I should read the program. Hitherto, people have been talking about the present and the future, and I would like to talk a little bit about the past. In fact, the past going back 50 years. And there's not many people in this room that were actually in the industry 50 years ago. In fact, I think there's only one, and we'll come to him shortly. This year is a new event, a new category. We've not had this before, that's why it's new. And it's the ACSWA 1962 prize. And I'd like to inform people that were born not so long ago that this year marks the 50th anniversary of the initiation by Dennis Moore, who is in the room tonight, and we're not allowed to put the light on Dennis because he doesn't like spotlight. And it's the installation of the first stored program digital computer in Western Australia, which was an IBM 1620, which means nothing to anybody here except Dennis, which was located on the campus at the University of Western Australia. And I believe people have told me that were there at the time that it was in the physics department there. In recognition of this, Dennis, in his desire to contribute back to the profession, proposed that there be an annual award to encourage excellence by students in ICT, and this is something that he has generously supported. This award is to be known as the ACSWA 1962 prize, and it has the following objectives: to recognise and encourage excellence by third-year university students in ICT in WA, to raise the image of the profession in the university population of WA, and also to remind people of the history and origins of digital computing in Western Australia. And I emphasise digital because there were other things that were called computers prior to stored program computers. The prize is going to be presented annually. This year there are 3 finalists, and I asked them to come to the podium, and they are Kevin Adnan from the Curtin University of Technology, Raymond Wijaya from Murdoch University, and Luke Axford from Curtin University of Technology. If you could all 3 come to the podium now. This is not made up. It's an envelope that I removed from my pocket that was handed to me, and I presume it's got something in it rather than just a check. Oh, it is a check.
It's made out to David Clark, that's fine.
Well, I'd have to say then the winner would have to be the bearer of this cheque then, and it's Kevin Adnan. It's the winner of the
Thank you very much for the prize. I'd like to thank His Excellency, Malcolm McCusker and wife Tonya for attending. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank in particular the School of Information Systems at Curtin University. As a Year 12 student, I was basically deciding what path to go. I took the right path. Yes, and not only that, I'd like to thank the program involved within the School of IS, not just teaching, but also encouragement, also extracurricular activities such as ACS in the pub and IT in the pub, Think organisation, things like that. Networking with industry professionals, but also the practicum component to a tertiary education. So obviously it is important to have a theoretical background, but applying that to industry is extremely important, because when you're in the workforce, as you all know, everyone or most people do have a degree. So what do you have that is different? So one thing I noticed from Curtin is they provide opportunities such as practicum placements, things like that, where I was working with Lufthansa in Germany. So that was an experience I'll never forget. Also, a big thanks to the international department at Curtin for introducing me to the opportunity for student exchange, where I completed my final full-time semester abroad. And I'd also like to thank the idea of the 1962 prize, also reaching out to undergraduate students. And also, obviously I thank the finalist candidates as well. They've done an extremely good job. We'll give a hand to them. And I thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Kevin. Congratulations.
I think Kevin might have a sales and marketing degree from Curtin University as well. That's very well spoken. I feel like joining up. Look, just if you bear with me for one brief moment, I'd like to stay in 1962. By the way, is anybody born in 1962? Yeah, was it not many people? No. We're also very proud to announce a new formal event to be held later this year on Wednesday the 12th of September. The event will be named in perpetuity the Dennis Moore Annual Distinguished Oration. A little bit about Dennis. In 1962, Dennis Moore was the first chair of what was then called the Western Australian Computer Society, which later morphed into, or was the forerunner of being incorporated into the national body of the Australian Computer Society as we now know it, along with all the other states which one by one joined up with the national body. So nowadays we have one body, and poor old West Australian Computer Society died about 1965. Dennis was the first branch chair of ACSWA in 1966 and 7. He's here in the audience tonight, and we thank him for lending his name to this oration. And for those that don't know him, Dennis is a living legend in the ICT community for being a trailblazer from the very beginning of computing in WA, and for his very great contribution to this state over many years throughout his career. It's a great honour to be the inaugural speaker of the Dennis Moore annual distinguished oration, and we're pleased to announce tonight that the honour has been given to Andrew Roll, the Executive Director of IVEC. And by the way, Dennis, who doesn't like being in the spotlight, is right there now. If you can just, I hope, is he on screen? The man is a living legend. He truly is, and I could not overemphasise that. The oration to be given by Andrew is titled, this might wow some people, Petaflop Computing and Beyond, the Rise of Supercomputing in Western Australia, and it's aimed at the knowledgeable person in the street. So there will be a lot of zeros in his discussion, but it will be very practical, and I would urge you all to come. Just a little bit about Andrew. Why was he chosen by the committee? Because to be the inaugural speaker of this very important award is definitely something that should be cherished. A little bit about him. He had a career in the application of high-performance computing and computer simulation technologies, and he's oversees an increase in IVEC's supercomputing capacity by a factor of 250, and in the next 4 years he's hoping to increase that capacity by another 250. And that will be done through, you may not all be aware of the Pawsey Supercomputing Centre, which was named after the Australian radio astronomy pioneer Dr. Joseph Pawsey. So Andrew is in the audience tonight, and Andrew, we congratulate you on this achievement, and I for one, and I hope a lot of us here will enjoy your oration. Thank you.
Thank you, David. We're going to get a photograph of David and Kevin together just out there in the middle. Can we just give a big round of applause to our finalists as they leave the stage? Thank you, guys. And I thought petaflop was something peculiar to people who were born before 1962, but... And to the gentleman over there who's getting a bit excited, can I remind you that the room is full of coppers? They are in dress uniform, but they would like to demonstrate the flexibility of said uniform. They can bring you down, even in a dress uniform. Am I right, Chris?